Hello friends, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to cover the remaining constraints that are primary key and foreign key. So let's start the video.
So now let's start with primary key and foreign key. Okay, so now these terms might be or might not be very familiar with you, but if they aren't, I'll tell you what are these terms. So first of all, let's start with primary key. So what is primary key? So if I talk about a table, like let's suppose I have a table. In a table, I have many columns. Let this be the first column, second column, and the third column. So let's suppose this column I say as my primary key. Now, what are its characteristics? First thing should be, it should be not null. Okay. And if you have watched the previous video, you might be aware of what is not null. The next one is unique. And the third one is a table cannot have more than one primary key. A table cannot have more than, I'm sorry, more than one primary key. Aha, one primary. I'll write it here only. Okay, so now, as I told you, it should have three properties. First one, it should be unique, then it should be not null, then it should be only one in a table. So now let's understand it better with the help of workbench. Open your workbench. Okay, it is taking time. Okay, fine. Okay, so now it is fine. First of all, for primary key, let's create the table. What will happen? We'll write create. Before that, we need to write the database which we want to use. Use DB, create table, and then what should be the name of the table? We'll keep it students only. Okay, so create table students, and now in the student it should have property like I want to keep my ID as the primary key, so I'll do one thing, ID, before that data type int ID, then it would be what are the characteristics we want to keep? Not null, unique, int is not valid in this position. Sorry, ID int not null, and then it should be unique. The next thing we'll keep as name varchar 200, and the next thing, let's say it should not be null. The next thing we can keep as city, or say we'll keep it as state only. Okay, so state, it should be again varchar of 200. It should not be null, and yes, and we won't be keeping this as we'll keep it as state underscore ID. I'll tell you later on because the next concept is a foreign key. So for that, it will be helpful for us. Okay, now then just write primary key, and we want to keep ID as the primary key, and I guess it's fine. Yeah, forgot a comma over here. Okay, create table. Yes, it's done now. Table has been created. Let's check it. Now let's quickly put in some values. What values can we put? Quickly insert a few values. Insert into students. Insert into students. We'll keep the values as. So first one is ID, then it is name, then it is state ID. So I'll keep it as 1. Then name, let it be, say Hardik only. State ID be 1, ID be 2 only. So you might be wondering that what is this state ID? So state ID is nothing but I'll be making another table which would be having ID, state IDs and states. Okay. I'll tell you the concept later on and the purpose later on in this video only. Next one, 2, say Harry. And then my friend, I'll keep it 3, then 3, then Sham, 1, I'll keep it Ram, and yes, now it's done. Quickly insert it. Select star from students. Okay. See, this is the basic which has been created, and I'll show you the purpose of primary key. If I try to insert any null value, then it wouldn't be possible for us to do so. So if I say I'll keep it as null, then let's try it out. It will automatically give an error. Insert into student values not possible, column cannot be null. Okay, if it cannot be null, then we'll keep the ID as 1 again. Again error, because duplicate entry, it is a primary key. So hope you got it, that for the primary key, it should be unique and also not null. So this is the basic concept of primary key, and if you don't add it at the time of creation of table, then you can also use alter table to add the feature. Okay, now let's come over to the next concept, that is a foreign key. So if I talk about foreign key, then foreign key is actually a bit different from primary key, and it is somewhat related to it. Now, how is it related to it? Let's suppose this is a table, and this has a primary key, let's suppose ID, then it has state ID as I given in my table, then it is name. So this was my primary key. Okay, and now let's suppose I have another table consisting of states. So it would be this would be, say, for state ID, then let's suppose this would be states. Now I'll say that okay, let this be the primary key of states table. Okay, so now the thing is, foreign key is actually used to link certain tables. Now let's suppose this table was having, okay, my ID is 1, name is somewhat Hardik, and then state ID was 2. And in this table, it was storing that for state ID 2, the state was Delhi. So actually, foreign key is used to join, or you can say to connect two tables. It does not join the two tables, but it forms a bridge between two tables. Okay, and this table, that is, I'm saying that okay, this is taking reference from the states table, So obviously this is foreign key. This just because this is taking reference from the state table, or you can say information from the state table. So this would be referencing table. Referencing table. And this table would be referenced table. Okay. Now I'll do one thing. I'll create one more table, that is states table, for the purpose. Again, I'll copy this only. Use db create table states. ID would be, instead of ID, I'll keep it as, okay, let's keep it as ID only. Let's keep it this. Let the primary key be ID for this table. Hope it would be created. Yes, it has been created. Let's refresh the schema. So states table has been created. Let's put some states into it. Call for this, copy, paste, insert into states. Now for that, I'll be putting that for one, it is Haryana. Then I'll put the next state. Say for, I'll put Telangana, or say Telangana. Telangana. Okay. Telangana is done. For the next thing, I can put Punjab. Okay, now I'm putting this. Hope this was my primary key and this should be fine. Okay, this is made now. Let's print this table. Select star from states. See, I have made these tables. That is, first one is um, ID, that is Haryana. The next one is ID2, that is Telangana. Then ID is 3, Punjab. So this was my states table. Now coming over to the concept of foreign key. So similarly to primary key, you can add it here also. I'll tell you the way of adding it here. Like it would be foreign key. Before that, put a comma over here. Foreign key. What would be my foreign key over here? I'm sorry, this is not the one. Yeah, where it is. Yeah, this was the table. So you can add it like this. Foreign key, and my foreign key is state underscore ID references, which table references, it references to the states table. And in the states table, what is the thing which it is referring? That is ID. Yes. So this is the way of creating foreign key. But if I try to run this query, this won't be executed because we already have a table with the name students. So either we drop the previous table, again create a table, and then insert the entries. That won't be feasible for us now. So what we can do, we can use the alter command. So we can write alter. Okay, remove this. Alter table students. Okay, it is giving some kind of an error. Okay, yeah, because there is no semicolon over here. Alter table, add foreign key, references from this, and now, okay, it is giving some error. Referencing column, that is state ID. So it is saying that referenced column in the foreign key constraints students table. Okay, let me read it. Referencing column state underscore ID and referenced column ID in foreign key constraints. Okay, it is having some issue with the column here. Let me see. So use DB create states ID not null, null and not unique. Okay, it is int, this is state, then this is primary key I have created for it. This should be fine. Why it is not giving some foreign key referencing state ID, state underscore ID? Is it fine? No, the state underscore ID thing, yeah, it is fine. It references from states, and what is the column it is referencing? ID. Alter table add foreign key references. It is giving some kind of an error. Cut. अरे यार, resume. Okay, referencing. Let me check. This is state ID. State ID varchar not null, and the next thing is ID. We are referencing it with. Okay, it is int, and this one is varchar. Okay, because of data type difference, this is giving this error. Okay, no issues. Alter table students. We need to change the data type. Modify. What is the name of the column? Modify state underscore ID, and before that modify column state underscore ID it to int. Let's see. Okay, modify it to int. Now this has been changed to int. Let's try to run this. Okay, now it is getting executed, because earlier we were using varchar data type over here, and here we were using the int for the ID, that is ID in the states table was int, and here it was varchar. Now I have changed the data type and it is getting executed. So now I'll give you one more demo of how this foreign key works. Now see, in this there are only three IDs present over here, 1, 2 and 3. So if I try to add a state ID apart from 1, 2, 3, it won't be get executed because it is not present in the referencing table. Sorry, in the referenced table, that is in our main table from which our students table it is getting reference. Okay, now I'll come over here. I'll try to put, yeah, so I'll say I'll put, no sure, I'll put 5 and then I'll put somewhat hello, and now here is the twist. Instead of 1, 2, 3, I'll put 9 over here, and see, this should not get executed. Yes, cannot add or update a child row, a foreign key constraint. So this is the thing. Had it been not linked with that table, then this query would have been executed. Now this has been linked with that table. So for this to get executed, first of all, we need to add a state corresponding to the ID 9.
So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.